everyone. Erin, happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been 10 whole episodes.
10 whole episodes. That's right. Give me 10. High 10 right there.
10.
Yeah. So here we are. Episode 10. I'm Bobby D.
And I'm Erin.
And welcome to Heart of the Gala, the podcast where we talk about making events better.
True story.
And that's it.
It's pretty simple. I
Yeah.
like it.
Event.
I like it. It's good stuff.
It's an event podcast for event people by event people.
Yeah, that's how it sums it up.
And that's us. So today, since by the time you'll be listening to this, it will be Stress Reduction Awareness Month, right? Stress awareness.
National Stress Awareness Month.
Sta-
I like Bobby just is already reducing it.
Yeah.
You're already like, it's reduction month. We're reducing the stress.
Yeah, we need to bring it down. So we're talking about event stress and gala
Success.
success. That's right. So Erin, how's your event season going?
It's going. It's stressful.
Why would gala season be so stressful
Well,
for you?
no, I have to say this whole topic came about because one of my previous clients told me that they mentioned this to me and they were like, I think this is really important. They said that having me as with them had helped the stress of their gala significantly.
Really?
And that before having a person there, that they just felt like they had to run every single thing and they were able to like release a lot of the stress by hiring us. And so it got me thinking about a lot of the stressors that are going on, that our clients are going through.
Oh my gosh.
And leading up to a couple of days of really big galas this weekend.
Yep, we got some big ones.
The messages are flowing of the stress coming in.
Yeah, and it's fun to, well, it's not fun. It's fun for me. It's not fun for the clients, but I'm always checking in. It's like, so how's it going? And they're like, oh, I'm pulling my hair out. It's so crazy. And I'm like, just think in 6 days, this will all be over and we can move on with life.
I don't know. I checked in with tomorrow's client.
And?
She's stoked. She's like, count it. It's awesome. Everything is great. Like, they are just so stoked. And I was like, what is happening?
How many years have you been working with this particular client?
I think this is my 12th year with them.
12th year. Okay, so they know that it's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, this is going to be great, no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, we tweak and we do some small changes to keep it fresh and hot. But at the end of the day, like, we know why we're there. We show up, and the guests show up knowing what to expect. And
Yeah.
So
it works great.
They've had a big change in their team, though. So
yeah, they're right.
Their team had changed, and they had a whole new, different type of staff come in to change some of the stressors.
Okay.
I think that was a really interesting, because I was like, "Why are you so chill?" And she was like, "Oh, I've got this person handling that, this person handling that, this person handling that," and I was like,
nice.
"Oh,
very good."
Meantime, my other client this weekend has decided to control it all themselves. So that
much?
when they let go of things, then things didn't come out to their expectations. So they reined it in and cut down on all of the other people and gave themselves lots of time to plan. But the last minute, that's when everything happens.
That's my job. I am the master procrastinator. I get all my best work done in the last 25 minutes.
Yeah.
All of it. And that's kind of how, because that gala's Saturday, and here we are Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no big deal. It's 2 days away. No big deal.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. So now when we talk to our clients and they're feeling a little stressful, like, let's give our listeners and viewers some ideas on how to chill the F out.
Well, I think it's important to talk about how the team can either add to your stress or subtract from your success.
Ooh, okay.
And I think that's really important because my last gala, one of their team members had caused an excessive amount of stress and unneeded problems. And there's now like massive issues going on when they're finding out these things that had happened that they didn't even know were happening.
Oh my gosh. And that particular person
canceled.
Person got canned.
I don't know.
Oh, they weren't at the gala?
They were at the gala.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, because we didn't find out a lot of the stuff until later.
That's
because as a vendor, I wasn't going to run up the flagpole and start, throwing a fit. And they thanked me for their respect and courtesy and the fact that I was putting out a lot of fires.
And calm.
And my calm, obviously. But you have to look at who your team is and play to their strengths and be realistic to what they are. And I know finding a good team is not easy.
No, not at all.
There's
especially
definitely
a good gala team.
Especially any kind of team. You need somebody that's going to work in sync and find these right kind of idiosyncrasies. Like, what do you need help with? Do you need somebody that's dedicated to the wall of wine? Do you need somebody that's dedicated to the silent auction?
Someone selling the golden ticket.
Someone putting the information in the platform?
Ooh, here's a hot tip. Stage manager. You need a stage manager. That I
Yes.
would say if you were going to alleviate our stress at all as auctioneers and fundraisers and the MC and your speakers and your honorees and your chair people and all of those things, the stage manager can alleviate so much stress.
Yeah. That also, so that job fell on our development director at one of our recent events. And I was like, "You're going to have too much to do that day." And they were like, "No, I'm not." Well, they got a little bit of a cold
Oh,
and sat in the back the entire time and like were nowhere to be found, and this job had to be done.
yeah, stage manager is right there at the top. That's like the key piece.
And they still had to do all of the other things they still had to do. So that was like not as important. And if it wasn't for me being like, we have to go, we have to start going and fundraising now, there would have been a lot more lull and a lot more loss. And that's difficult. It's difficult. You look at it in hindsight and all of that. But I think that that's something that's important as stage manager, an event manager, of
Yes.
knowing I want to know who's in charge of when and where the food is coming and going.
That would be the banquet captain at some places. Other times it's the how you would say the catering manager, the catering owner. But
Yeah,
yes,
but
the
who's
person
that
that
person?
controls the
And that
food.
person should know with the stage manager. I feel like there should be a communication there about like what's going on because it's never according to the timeline.
No, no. We call it gala time. It's like, oh yeah, we're supposed to be on at 7:45 and it is now 8:12. We just call it gala time. It's like, all right, hey, you're going to flex 15 to 25 minutes no matter what. So I think that'd be another tip is you have to just let it go.
You
Let
can
it
set it for
go.
success.
Let it
I mean, you can do
go.
the best you can for planning it. I would say when you're planning your gala, you have to plan the food service in with the activities that are happening on stage and off of stage.
Hmm.
And that's important because sometimes you pick how long it takes. And I am always like, okay, you need to call your food service and say, how long does it take to drop? How
Yeah.
long is it plating going to be? And they'll tell you, and hopefully they'll be accurate enough. I would add a couple minutes. But
Gala time.
then you have to create around that because they won't let food sit cold.
No.
So you need to plan when they can drop, let them know when they can drop, and plan your own program around that.
Right. And that's where everybody's working together. You have your stage manager, you have your event manager, you have your catering manager, you have your fundraising
Manager?
fundraising manager.
Cool, I'm a fundraising manager.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, yeah. And sometimes we play a lot of those roles, event manager and stage manager, a lot of times. And many times when you have a development director that's not there, we're a development director as well too, or an on-stage development director.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's an important thing to think about, especially for the development directors and the executive directors that are out there that wear many hats, especially in the small shops that don't have a large team like this one tomorrow night. Very small team. You are wearing lots of hats, but think about what is the most important hat that you're going to be wearing on that evening or day or however it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what's the most important hat? What do you think it is?
That I wear?
No, that our development directors or executive directors wear.
Being
You wear a
everybody's best
headband.
friend.
That's it. You got to be everybody's best friend. You have to come at it from the development mindset, and that's why we're having this whole event, right? Is to raise money.
I always think that's really interesting because they have an opportunity to go meet and greet some of their major donors and like
Yes.
schmooze them.
Yeah.
And that's really what they should be doing and
Yeah.
not running the silent auction check-in.
Yeah, that or selling raffle tickets or being the stage manager. Go forth, and now we're having that conversation. We're finding out who these individuals are that are playing these roles, and if we don't have someone that's playing that role, then we'll find somebody for that. Like, okay, here, let's put you in that place because as the key development person, you have to be out there in the audience. You've got to be rubbing elbows and schmoozing and
Yeah, I
kissing
think that's
babies and
important.
all the things.
And I think that you can trust volunteers to do things. I mean, I know that some people are going to say like, "Oh, we don't have the budget to hire all these different staffing," and I appreciate that
Yeah.
because, every event is very different. But there are jobs that volunteers can do. Like you can get a volunteer that can at least run the run of a show,
Oh yeah.
right? Like at least do and enter information into the system. Oh, that I think that that's a big stress thing
Ooh,
is technology.
technology. Okay, so that is going to add more stress.
Yeah, probably.
It happens. It happens. But you just like every other tech thing in life, like just before we got on here, we're like, Where's the buzz coming from?
Yeah.
You just gotta
Well,
figure out
we
the bugs.
we had an event last year that I'm doing this weekend that the tech didn't work in the main room, and so the on phone giving didn't work. And this year they got AT&T to sponsor them and
Ooh,
run the whole they brought in Wi-Fi boosters into the space
sweet.
just as like a sponsorship thing.
So you can go Instagram live like we are. Hey everybody,
But
Instagram.
yeah, so now well they can get donations. That's really the point. But I'm sure it's really just for your Instagram account. But the I think that that's like a learning thing, and you have to realize like talk to some people around you, but also do Wi-Fi checks, do cell checks, and those things. But there are so many different awesome platforms,
Yes.
and each area that you're in has different service managers for these platforms, and
Yep.
I think that's really important because there are some programs that like in New York I would be like absolutely never use,
Yeah,
and
don't use
then
them.
they're the same ones that in Florida people will like, oh my gosh, they're the best ever.
Right.
And it has to do with their personnel that's running the programs. Then that's an interesting side fact.
Yeah, and every tech platform, online bidding, ticket sales, sponsorships now. They even have table seating. They have so many different things. I think we'll start to have some of our tech providers to hop on, and then also maybe some tech users. And
Well, I would kind of give a shout out here.
sure.
Shout out to Life Event Staffing.
Oh yeah.
They have been awesome for us. A lot of people don't have staffing for these tech platforms anymore, and you can hire them per hour.
We
And
probably should have Lauren and Chi on.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
awesome. That was such a genius
So
idea.
that's the people. Now that's the people that run the platform.
Right, but you just hire some staff for that day that know what they're doing.
Exactly. They've done it before. It's not their first time.
Right.
They're not volunteers. They're not donors.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so getting the staff to run the tech, but then also having the tech so that you are registering your
Okay.
donors effectively.
Here it comes.
You're attaching
Every time, huh?
every time I have to do it. We're professional paddle raisers. We have to have a paddle at every show. Right there. 1, 2, 3. You have to connect the name of the donor to their paddle. And what's even better, if you can pre-swipe their card and get it connected here, that will take a lot of stress. Again, focus on stress. It'll take a lot of stress out of the getting the money in the bank account,
I
right?
mean, I don't like this paddle doesn't have my name on it.
Oh. Well,
My ideal paddle has my name on it. I like it when it has the name and the table number and my credit card's attached to it and everything is all in
ooh.
one place. Because if we put it down, we know where it belongs. It's my table number.
See, Aaron.
It doesn't say my table number.
Oh, table number 1. Because you were
Thanks.
always at the number 1 table. So, and why do you like names on paddles? I'm just curious.
Because I think that a lot of people don't want to walk around carrying paddles, and so I like having them on the tables.
Ooh, that's another solution. Paddles on the table so they don't have to carry them around. That's the biggest complaint. We don't want to
Big
carry them.
complaint.
Yep,
Yep.
yep, yep. Okay.
I don't hear that from people. I hear that from, I don't know, bored people.
Yeah.
But they have them on the tables and we sit down, you pass them out, and everybody has their name on it. And if they are carrying them around and they put one down, their name is on it. It's easier to find them. And if you have a really fun game that your awesome auctioneer is playing with it and they pull a paddle on it and it has their name on it, it's so much easier to find the winner.
Who's the winner? 1, 2. Oh, it's Aaron. Aaron, you won.
See,
Yeah, you love raffles and
I
games.
do love games.
Yes. So paddles is a big thing, and getting the money in the bank account is a big thing. Pre-swiping credit cards that will save you so much stress, and then pre-assigning seating. Like so, if you're planning a big gala, you're probably seeing the similarities of your gala to maybe a wedding, and the seating chart that's with that. Who's sitting where and whatnot. And there's a reason for that. It's very strategic. Remember the movie First Day in May
Yes,
about the Met Gala?
I do.
And how Anna Wintour was like, nope, this needs to go here, and this person goes here, and this, and then there was a reason for that because, and you can even do that with your board members to strategically place them where they need, and then everybody knows where they sit. And then when you have the conversation, oh my gosh, this is our next tip: board member stress. How do you minimize the board member stress or the stress that your board is giving you, or not? Because many times
I don't have this answer. I don't know where.
oh,
you're
I got
going
this.
with
No, I got
Okay,
this
you go with
laced.
that.
I'm
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm gonna have a drink.
I'm good. I had a conversation with a client we're going to be working with in the fall, and I asked how was the board, and she was like, she's like, we have a lot of people on our board. I'm like, well, how do they do it fundraising? And she laughs again. They don't fundraise, you silly auctioneer. I'm like, what do you mean? They don't. So I think for alleviating stress for our gala planners that are out there is get your board on board with why we're having this fundraiser and why you're having the gala. That there are many boards that are out there. And if you're a board member and you are listening, I love you so much. Thank you for volunteering your time, your talent, and your treasure, but most importantly, your team. But many times there's board members that just don't know. They don't know. They don't know that that's their key job is to bring people to the proverbial fundraising table and to get them to raise their paddle.
That's true.
Yeah. And as board members, you're hosts. So if you're a gala
I think that's
planner,
important.
yeah.
I think that's an important thing to know is that a board member is a host.
Yes.
I
Not a guest.
again just had it. I'm just going with stories here today. An
War
event
stories.
where totally war stories, and the board was not super stoked to hire somebody for a long time. There was like a really long time of like we're not hiring her, and they finally line in the sand. We're hiring Erin, and they presented it, and the board was like oh, and they got it voted in. When that happens, from my perspective, an event can go two ways. The board can sit with their arms crossed and turn their nose up. This is going to be a terrible event. I told them not to hire this person.
I don't like paddle raises.
Or the board can lean in and say,
I
hey,
don't
you know
like
what?
options.
We're trying something new. We're going to give this a new thing. Let's see what happens, and let's just be open to it and see what happens. And that's what they did, and they were fantastic. And it was a ridiculously wonderful event. And now, the board meeting is tonight, I think. And they can just to talk about, their wonderful idea of hiring me.
How that was their idea. I love that. Yeah, I love that. Now, I did overhear your wrap up call the other day, and they were saying something about Aaron Ward money.
Yeah, that they couldn't have raised if they didn't step up their game. They couldn't raise Aaron Ward money. I like that. It's up here.
Yeah. We got to get that shirt made. That big money energy
Yeah.
shirt made. Yeah. Stay tuned for swag coming up. But you're right. Board member, getting them on board and getting them to go. So we've talked about team. We've talked about your food service. We've talked about paddles. We talked about board members. What are other stressful items that we may be able to help our gala junkies plan for?
I mean, I just think that there's like a certain amount of fear that I do see happen. I don't necessarily think that these jobs are the types of jobs that people signed up thinking they were going to be in galas. Like that's not necessarily
No.
their favorite moment
They
of an
don't
event.
put that on the job description. You'll be running a gala this year. Surprise!
And, yeah, and I sometimes see them and they're like, in fact, even in one of our wrap ups, they said, I I've been in fundraising for 15 years and I've heard about these ideas and never seen them implemented, says the development director.
What?
Yes.
You're right that there are so many wonderful things that we're able to bring to the table, like the paddle raise. What's a paddle? I can't believe people are still saying what is a paddle raise, or the fact that they call it the paddle auction. Oh my gosh, I have a whole nother tangent about that. But you're right that
there are a lot of ideas.
No
but
idea.
Here's the thing: is that like it's hard to implement some of the ideas without finding the person to do it with.
Right.
And it's not like a development director can jump up there and be all of these things. And it does take time, and it takes trust, and it takes finding your people. And I just think that I think there are I don't know. I think there are maybe like confusing places when people are like, oh, I need to find someone. I don't know where to find someone, how to find someone.
So you're talking about finding a professional fundraising auctioneer, ambassador, motivational speaker, someone that knows how to raise money and has done it many times before.
I think that maybe people don't know that we exist.
They don't. That's the problem.
Are we zebras?
No.
I feel like we're zebras.
But why?
I don't know. When you hear hooves, you think horses, not zebras.
Ah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a really good one. That's a great analogy.
You're welcome.
And yes, when you say auctioneer, there's some reason, I don't know who it was, that put the misnomer out into the world that auctioneers should be free.
It's not just that, Bobby. I mean, it's my concept is that not all auctioneers also do fundraising.
But I don't sell real estate.
Right. And that's the thing is that not all auctioneers do fundraising.
I used to sell cars.
Right.
Used to.
So that's what I'm saying is that there are auctioneers that sell specific things and they are the best salesmen of their industry,
Like your mom used to sell a lot of equipment,
heavy machinery.
heavy machine, garbage trucks.
So she could tell you everything there was about dump trucks, front end loaders, all of these things, because she was the ultimate salesman. For that few moments, she got pure market value for those items.
But Jill, where do we put the paddle raise? Do we do it before the auction or after the
Right.
auction?
So
What's the golden ticket? What?
her But that's the thing, Bobby. I still feel like if you just reach out to somebody because they're an auctioneer, I don't know that they're going to know all of these things. And that's where I think you have to go a step beyond. If you don't have an auctioneer that is in fundraising,
Yes.
then you need to figure out where that fundraising information is going to be coming from. Are you going to get somebody to train your auctioneer?
Somebody asked us that the other day, and I was like, "You really can't
Right?
train that. It's like teaching somebody how to fish. Throw your hook out there. You might catch something."
That's not true. I think that you could help. I think there are coaches. I think there are development teams. I think there are people, if that's what that person wants to do, if they have the ability to do those kinds of things, but they probably won't be bringing you the kinds of ideas or understanding the same. So you need to figure out what that feels like and fits like,
Yeah.
and not just assume all auctioneers are the same.
Right. So there it is. Another alleviation point of your stress is finding that professional fundraising auctioneer, consultant, strategist, MC to be able to partner with them, to work with them, to bounce ideas off of them, ask for help. And
I had an event. I don't think I've ever told you this. That probably I was pregnant with Jack, so 11 years ago. And I was at the gala and I was in the cocktail hour and the silent auction was going on and the development director like came up like under my wing. She was like right up close to me and I was like, "Hey." And she's like, "Can I stand this close to you?" And I was like, "Sure you can. What's going on?" She's like, "You're just very calm. I just feel very safe next to you. Can I just stand right here next to you?" And I was like, "Sure, okay, yeah, we got this. It's
Yeah.
Gala, we got this. Like, we
Yeah.
can do this." I love her to pieces and miss that event very much, but
So finding your safe space.
I think that I think you need to be able to know that there's somebody that can do that for
Right.
you.
Yes. That, and I think that that's the most important thing is that there is someone that can do that for you, that will do that for you, that has done that for others in the past. And if something pops up, we know how to handle it.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
I have a saying because, again, we talk about gala time, but we also talk about snafus that happen.
Do you know that what Matt said the other day?
What?
Matt's our kid's guitar teacher.
Oh, yeah.
He said that good thing you didn't come to the 12 o'clock mass because somebody died.
What?
And I thought, oh my gosh, that's happened at a gala before.
Yeah. We talked to Lucas about that.
And then I thought, that happens at church.
That's a great place to die.
Right?
Right. Boom. It's like
Right up.
right there.
Express.
Express.
I don't know, which isn't interesting. But
So like, okay, so the extreme ends, so problems that arise,
yes.
situations that arise.
Yes.
Okay, extreme end, somebody dies. That's that. What are some other things that we have to look out for?
The food issues.
Food, AV, that's a big thing.
God,
Audio.
Bobby.
Oh my
Are you
God.
doing just a pure podcast on AV?
Oh, I will. Don't worry. I've got the guys already lined up for it. I got them. The perfect guy. We will talk about that.
I loved my team the other day. Can I just tell you that this is the first time this has happened, so I want to give it a shout out. I had a fantastic band.
Yes.
I will tell you that I just found out it's because they're like they play for the Clintons personally. Like they're a good band.
Good.
Anyway,
Professionals.
I said, "Oh, these speakers, I'm noticing this and this," and they said, "Okay," and it was handled. It was no pushback. It was no, well, we need it over, man. They were like, "Oh, okay, dropped, fixed," and I was like, "Oh,
Nice. Love that. See,
so good."
it's professional courtessy. I love that. I love that.
Anyway, but they had a great sound system and they were a great band.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
wonderful. I think that that's a huge thing.
That's
I think
a big one.
I think service is a big thing. I think so AV would go with lights.
Mm-hmm.
PowerPoints.
PowerPoints.
So I would say planning.
Planning.
I would say planning
Checking
is
the boxes.
checking the boxes. I think some people wait to do things and then everything piles up on them. And I think they have information and there's ways to do things. We have a really cool interactive sheet that really breaks down every question you could possibly ask and the questions you don't ask. And if you don't fill out that sheet, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right.
Because it really is a helpful tool. And we send out a lot of helpful tools. When you partner with us, you get like this whole packet of information. And
It's a
It
virtual
surprises
encyclopedia.
me when people don't do it.
I'm like, oh yeah, did you open up your PowerPoint document? They're like, what? Like, yeah, no, we sent you the PowerPoint. And then they look at it, and then when we have them give that to the designer already knows, okay, what needs to be included? Why do we include that? Put many pictures of the
But
vacation
I
home,
think
whatever it
there's a
is.
lot of that information that could be done in advance. And I think like a timeline of setup for these things. Now, we work with our clients
Some of them year round.
ideally, ideally year
Yes.
round, at minimum 6 months out. But definitely when you, the, the more time you can spend preparing for these kinds of things, there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that we can throw in, a lot of ideas that we can give you. And it hurts when we're like in, the ninth hour and somebody's like, wow, I wish we had whatever.
Yeah. Wish we had the PowerPoint done.
But no, I wish we had thought of doing this with this item. I wish we had done looked for this or that. Like I think there's something to that if we had had enough time with these questions, we could have solved them.
Right. Yeah. And the easy fixes, very easy fix, time, little energy, something there. Now, Gala Saturday night, you had asked your client a very good question, and he was a little stressed out about it. So it's the unknown that causes probably the most stress. It's like we don't know what's going to happen, and especially when there's a paddle raised involved. They're like, we don't know what's going to happen. Well, how could we fix the I don't know what's going to happen, or what happens when how
Okay, well, so
crickets? People hate
okay.
crickets.
This is where board engagement really comes in.
Yes.
So knowing that people want to be involved, people want to be part of a paddle race, they want to be part of the auction, they want to be part of an
Yep.
event.
Yep.
They
Yep.
don't want to be the exception to the rule. So you want everybody to feel included, but oftentimes
Often.
your major donors or your board members give at a different time of the year.
Right. Or they give in a much more
Or they bought the table.
yeah,
Right? And then they're going to give their annual gift at the end of the year
Right.
or when taxes happen or whatever the
This
reason
is more
is.
discreet in their giving.
If we get them to engage during this is an interesting thing because you get a lot of people that say, well, I bought the table. I figure my friends will all give. Well, your friends are not going to give if you don't give.
That's right. If you're sitting on your hands and Aaron makes the eloquent ask like, give us an example.
Of an elegant ask.
Yeah, just give me like a $10,000 ask.
Oh, you're just going to, Bobby needs a new pair of shoes. What? I don't know. How am I going to give you an elegant ask? What are you thinking
Okay,
about?
you're the board member now with the paddle and you're not raising the paddle. Friends, we've gathered here together this evening to raise money for Bobby's new shoes. They're about $10,000. Do we have anyone in the audience that could raise their paddle right now at the $10,000 level? Now, we have all of these guests that are at the table that are staring at Aaron, who is a board member who also bought the table, who invited me, and we're waiting for her to do something.
Because she's the leader and we're all looking to our leader.
What do we do?
We become sheeple.
Okay, and then, but if you don't raise your paddle, then
I'm not raising my paddle.
and I'm not raising my paddle.
Because you're sheeple and we're not going to do it. I mean, this is where I think you have to engage with them and set
Yes.
expectations of what's going to
Yes.
happen and
Yes.
set the encouragement for the room. Strategize with whoever is your lead on what that's going to sound like in the room.
Yeah.
My favorite events that have come up recently have been ones where it seems like the night has gone completely rogue. Like the room has
Organic,
taken over.
some people call it.
Yeah, okay. It
Yeah.
feels like the room took over.
Dynamic.
And you don't even know. I mean, we've had drummers jump in. We've had cheering happening. We've had encouragement. I've had people yelling out numbers. Heck, I had a person yell out $1 million one time.
Do I have $1 million? And
You
it
know,
happened.
like you really get this very cool thing when the room becomes alive. What was that? $14,502 was one of my donors.
Love
And then now
that.
everybody gives it at that level.
great.
Every time they'll do a $14,502.
That's so good.
So, you have to let them come alive, but at the same time, you have to give them that encouragement that this is going to happen, set that tone. So I would say this goes to pre-setting the expectations for the night,
Yep.
where I will be absolutely number one person to tell you if there's nothing, I will go make magic.
Yeah.
100%. I can do it. I've done it.
You have a magic microphone.
I've sat on boards talking about paddle raises and come with nothing preceded, nothing planned, and raised magic. Absolutely.
Fundraising superpower right there.
Does that mean that is the ultimate best way to do it every time?
No.
Probably not.
No, it's not. I'll answer that for you. So best practices. I love this. Tips. Set the expectation that there's giving going to happen. Have the again. We talk board members. Have yourself a preceded gift. Know that someone is going to raise their paddle at that first level, whatever it is, 10,000, 15,000, a million, wherever. And it's that spark that really ignites that giving fire in the room. It's that individual that gives some social permission to everyone to say that this is okay to give. This is what we do. And I like what you're saying about the impromptu kind of conversations that the audience are having with you once they feel open with you, or the fact that somebody yelled out $14,502, and you're like, what was that? And then now that might encourage other people to be
I'm going on to another stressor.
vocal.
We already talked about this.
Okay. Anyways, moving on.
So another stressor that I think would be great is the volunteer situation.
Yes.
I think that you have to respect volunteers' time and energize them in what they're doing. And one of my favorite ways to do that is,
Give them pizza.
yeah,
Feed them.
yeah,
Oh,
after the event,
after the event.
like the next day or the day after. Have a volunteer party.
Yeah.
Volunteer parties after the event where they can all vent and drink if they have to, if that's what you have to do to keep them from drinking at the event, to respect their time, to thank them for their time. It
Yep.
can be a bagel
Yep.
brunch, it can be something not fancy at all, but this is a way to thank them or encourage people. People love a challenge. Who sold the most raffle tickets? You get an extra raffle ticket for yourself.
Right.
Like, let's inspire them to go work harder and do more so that there are, what about at the volunteer party? There's little trophies like you were volunteer of the year, you handled out the most tickets,
Yeah.
there's just
It's
ways to
recognition.
encourage
It's easy.
these moments, and volunteers will work hard and most likely turn into major donors.
70% of all volunteers with the nonprofits turn into donors. Did you know that? It's a fact.
That's true.
It's true.
It's true. So I think thinking about your volunteers so that they are empowered to be at the event and not thinking they're there for a party, because that's oftentimes what happens.
Yeah, we're there for a party and distract everybody. No, we're not. We're not there for a party. Oh, I have a stressor that I want to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
Talking about going rogue. Rogue speakers, presenters, honorees, chair people. The longer they talk, the better it is, right? Just blah, 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 blah.
Nobody thinks
Blah,
that.
blah, blah, blah. What?
The only person who likes to hear themselves talk that much is you.
No, that's not true. That's not true. But
It's not true.
it is.
Well, it is true. But
There's a misconception in the world of public speaking that the more that you say, the more important it is. No, it's not. Less is more in that case, especially at galas, because
time is money.
yeah, time is money.
Time is money.
So if you are an honoree or a board person or a chairperson,
Make
and
a
you think-
video.
make a video. That's the best way. That can alleviate so much stress and completely eliminate the fact that going rogue could ever happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very true.
Yes. Record the honorees acceptance speech.
I just saw such a great thank you video. It just warmed my heart.
Ooh.
It was just
Can we share it?
like cell phone videos. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, maybe some. We have to get clearance from the client, but
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea and a good resource for us to put together is showing examples of these great videos and different things like that. So yes, rogue speakers, record the honoree acceptance speech, such as things like that, because you can control that. And I know how you are, my dearest. When you have control, you are so much calmer, aren't you?
I'm very happy.
Yes.
Love
See?
control.
Yeah, yeah. And many of our wonderful gala planners.
You can't be a gal planner if you're not a little OCD.
That's right. Or ADD,
You have some kind of alphabet in there.
something like that. All of them, LMNOPs or whatever. So, okay. So we've talked about a lot of things here, Aaron. How many is this? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Did you put video on there? One more.
Oh, 16. Can we get to 20?
Not today.
Not today. There's so many, so many, so
Okay.
many.
Dessert. Make sure dessert comes after your program. That's a stressor because how do you get your guests to stay through the end of the night? Let's say I'm going to do this. That's tip 17. That's how you make them stay to the end of the night. Is you hold your dessert because once dessert happens, it's like the birthday cake.
Peace.
Happy birthday to you.
We're out.
Peace.
Gone.
Checkout process. You want to alleviate your checkout process. This means pre-swiping is obviously an incredible thing. I don't know why people are still hesitant to that. I know you talked about it earlier. The tech process is use the script the company gave you.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't do that either.
Yeah.
They give you a script that says, Hello, Mr. Jones. We're swiping your credit card to check in today. It's for a fun game we're playing later today. Please swipe your credit card here. Bye. Enjoy the night.
Yeah.
Like it's not do you want to? We'd really love it. Like
Yeah.
just swipe it.
Don't be afraid.
They go to a hotel, they swipe their card. We go to an airport, we swipe our card. We all know how to swipe our cards.
I think the checkout process is key to plan as you're building the check-in so that you have people that might just make donations. Okay, how oh, wait, she's got one. Or people that buy auction items. You could have two different checkouts. You could have a VIP checkout. You could have all the things.
18. Thank you processes.
Ooh.
Preset your thank you processes. Plan your thank you processes in advance. Are they going to be calls from the board? Are they going to be Bobby's surprise and delights, which is what he likes to call surprise and delight, where they're like in the room, they get like a very special thank you momentum. You know, under their chair, they get a thank you card handmade. We can talk about thank you gifts another time.
Yep, that will be another
But
time.
pre-plan them because that's a. Also, do them 6 months after another round of thank yous.
Oh, we're going to do a
We
whole
should do a
episode
whole
on that.
thank you
So
episode.
a whole episode on thank you. Probably near Thanksgiving.
Number 9. What's number 9 going to be? I'm trying to think about all the
19.
stressors.
19. 19. Drunk. Aha! Your donors do not need to be drunk. They don't need toasted, lightly toasted, but they don't need to be 4 or 5 drinks, 6 drinks in before you get to the auction or the paddle raise. That's just
a
going to,
stress.
that's stress.
Then you have to follow up with drunk money.
Oh my God. I didn't bid on that. I didn't raise my paddle.
That is not reliable donations.
That is not. And that's not the type of donor that you want. So you don't need to get them sloshed. That is a common misconception. Happy. We want them happy.
Happy, comfortable. Whatever their happy, comfortable is, not their embarrassing level.
Happy, comfortable. And for our biggest tip of the day,
Hire an auctioneer named Aaron.
or Bobby D and Bobby D.
Oh yeah, I'm Bobby.
It's okay. It's all right. There's only one of you. There's only one of me. Thank God.
I had a client today that wants to give out my information, but they don't want me at that event because they don't want me saturating their market. And I was like, well, don't worry. I have a share brain with somebody that's not me.
You have a twin with facial hair.
I know. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I have 2 of me.
Yeah, it's good. On that one note, there are so many professional fundraising auctioneers that are out there that do this for a living and are really good at it. I'm super stoked. I have my mentor or my mentee, Frankie Fletcher, is coming up. We just had another conversation with a giant nationwide client that saw him at another event and was like, we love him. He's great. So guess what happens? Frankie gets to go help another organization.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
He's great.
hire a professional. They will make your life so much better, raise money,
And I think
so
also
much less
just
stress.
doing the research, putting them out in the groups and saying, even reaching out to people like us or other people and just saying like, hey, we're in this market.
Right.
What should we look for? I think that people have a misconception of like, oh, these people are only in this area or they only do this level stuff or they only work with this kind of thing, or just ask. You have no idea.
Yeah, please reach out. And
We have so many.
so many from A+++ all the way
There's a
down
whole
to
bunch watching from CAI right now.
I know, look at
What's
them.
CAI?
Yeah.
Certified Auction Institute. We got a whole fan base.
whole fan base. And there's some great auctioneers there. And that's what I do love about the auction industry is that we are like one big happy family and we spread the love and we collaborate and work together to help you, the nonprofits, find a great professional. So please don't hesitate. Send us an email. We'll happy to find someone in your market and find somebody within your budget too.
Oh, I'm going with tip 21.
Bonus tip. Ding, 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 ding.
Schedule a massage or foot massage for the day after.
That's it right there, mic drop.
That's it. Like, make sure your me time is scheduled. This is a stressful thing. We get it.
Yeah.
There's a lot riding on this night, and everybody should know how important it is. Not just you. You shouldn't hold all of the stress in the room.
No.
Your body will suffer, and you need to take care of yourself. So do self-care. Please
Hydrate.
appreciate. Yes. This month of stress awareness month and deal with Bobby. I didn't liquid IV to pump up for this weekend. So, do what you got to do. Do what you need, but schedule your massages and your me times after because you need to decompress as well.
That's right. You're going to have high highs. And then after that, you'll have that post-gala depression and be like, did it go okay? Yes, it went great. You did a wonderful job. Just chillax, chill. Massage, foot rub, IV, tea, medicinal things, whatever you need to do. Chill the
rub.
F out. Chill out.
Brain rubs.
Brain rubs, yes. Okay. Well, Aaron, look at that. 21 tips on how to go from event stress to gala success. So cheesy. I know I'm so good at this. Yeah, I told you I wanted to be a radio guy when I grew up, right?
You're doing great, babe.
I'm doing wonderful. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening and watching, and all of our friends on Instagram Live. Thanks for watching. Good to see you. Remember to follow us on the Instagrams. I'm at Bobby the Auctioneer.
And I'm a Gala auctioneer.
And go to TikTok. Follow
Oh, wait, I'm Star Auctions.
your Star Auctions and Gala
Oh
Auctioneer.
my gosh, two me's.
Ooh, so many. So yes, follow us on TikTok as well. We should probably do a TikTok here. A couple of auctioneers, and then we're on the YouTube. Subscribe, like. We're on Spotify, Apple, Google, anywhere you can find podcasts. We're on
I'm
Facebook.
on American Airlines. Oh, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
When I'm flying.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So, and we're on LinkedIn too. So, questions anywhere, put it on any one of the platforms. We're happy to help, and that's what it's all about here: helping you put some heart into your gala and not take too much of your soul as you're planning your gala.
Or at least recouping some afterwards.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you all for watching and listening. Again, my name is Bobby D.
Make sure you take care of yourself. Stress is a beast, and
right.
it's real. Peace.
And you are.
Oh, I'm Erin. They know that.
Thank you, Erin.
I'm Erin.
Have a good one. Thanks for watching Heart of the Gala and listening. Bye,
I'm
everyone.
still Erin.
We'll see you.
I'm going to say my last word. You can't do it, can you?
Go have an awesome gala.